Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to say Call, Halayim Law, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and citations to hopeful elect that spreading this truth throughout the four winds with peace and sincerity. Alright, this is your brother Shamar, coming back for edification of scriptures. Alright, today's lesson, is going to be on the war between Ukraine and Russia. Alright, we know that a war between the United States of America and Russia could lead to a nuclear fallout, all right, which is the lake of fire. All right, those ICBM missiles, all right, that's gonna help ignite the lake of fire, all right, because we know that once a nuclear war is fought between the United States, all right, or any country, all right, they have different policies that say that could lead to everybody using nuclear weapons. All right. But today I was looking at this in the news because I was watching the Apostle Street Ministry, all right, the latest video, the one from yesterday, because today's Sunday. They go out every Saturday. So I was watching the one from yesterday, and Elder Bishop Sarakan, all right, he said something about body snatchers in Ukraine. So what they'll do is, what's going on is illegally putting people in the army. All right, imagine sitting outside and then somebody hop out a white van, snatch you up, and say you have no choice but to join our military. All right, that's what the army recruiters, all right, in Ukraine are doing. All right, and we know that's similar to what used to happen back in the day. All right, you see a man, all right, you in the army and you see a man, all right, that looked like he's able to fight in a war. All right, they'll snatch you up real fast, man. All right, the same thing. All right, and we know that type of energy is coming to the United States. All right, so let's read the passage before we get into the scriptures. All right, with Ukraine military facing mounting deaths and a stalemate on the battlefield, army recruiters have become increasingly aggressive in their efforts to replenish the ranks, in some cases pulling men off the streets and whisking them to recruiting centers using intimidation and even force. So what's happening? All right, the Ukrainian military, all right, is losing. All right, is fighting this war and losing this war against Russia. All right, we know Russia, all right, that's originally the land of Gog in the Holy Scriptures. All right, ancient Gog. All right, that's what the name of Russia was, all right, thousands of years ago. All right, and they changed the name. But when you read the scriptures and you're looking for prophecy or whatever you're doing in the scriptures you're trying to study, all right, Gog, when it says Gog and Magog, all right, no, that's talking about Russia, all right, the country of Russia today, all right, and it says Ukraine's military facing mounting deaths and a stalemate on the battlefield. Army recruiters have become increasingly aggressive in their efforts to replenish the ranks. All right, what do you need when you fight in a war? You need soldiers. All right, so the army recruiters are what? They're getting aggressive, man. They snatching people off the streets and forcing them to fight in this war. All right, we know who's going to win that war, man. All right, Russia's going to win that war. All right, so, people are panicking, man. The men are panicking at that point. All right, because you already know who's going to win the war. All right, Russia has a bigger military, has access to nuclear bombs, and it hasn't called any of its allies. All right, I think the only time I seen Russia use an ally, all right, in the times that this war between Ukraine and Russia has been going on, all right, is Belarus. All right, when they moved those nuclear bombs into Belarus. All right, so we know Ukraine, they've been using all types of help. All right, I know the president of Ukraine came to the United States not too long ago begging for help, all right, begging for funds. All right, you don't really see that type of energy coming from the Russian side, the communist side. All right. It says recruiters have confiscated passports, taken people from their jobs, and at least one case tried to send a mentally disabled person to military training. All right, so like I said, all right, they losing this war. All right, the Ukrainians is losing this war to the Russians. All right, no matter how bad, no matter how hard Ukraine fights, all right, it's gonna need some serious help, all right, from its allies, from NATO and the EU, the four beasts. I know Russia isn't part of the fourth beast. Gog and Magog isn't part of the fourth beast. All right, but it is gonna have its portion in the lake of fire. All right, so we know Ukraine is losing this war. It's gonna lose this war. All right, they can't fight by themselves as is. All right, like I just said. All right, the president of Ukraine was just over here in the United States begging Joe Biden for help. All right, running from the Russians. All right, trying to make allies. All right, what else? All right, and now we see in the news that they have so few soldiers that they had to steal and illegally recruit people. All right, that's just the time of war. That's just the type of things that happen in war times. All right, so let's get into the scriptures. So there's the book of Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword and the mighty in the war. All right, so what is that talking about? All right, that's talking about, all right, a war. All right, the men, all right, is gonna die in a war. Or they're gonna fall by the sword. All right, what's the sword today? All right, that'll be your modern day gun. All right, the word sword just means a killing instrument. All right, so it says the men. All right, that you could change that to saying the men. All right, shall fall by the sword and die mighty in the war. All right, that's for all the sinners and evildoers. All right, your men, all right, the people you look at as the men of your house or your houses, all right, they gonna fall in these wars. All right, we in the last days. All right, the days coming up to the second coming of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, the way they call Jesus Christ. All right. So it says, thy men shall fall by the sword. All right, so all you evildoers, all you people that commit adultery, all right, always at the club, all right, never studying these scriptures, man. All right, not watching Great Millstone or GMS, all right, thinking that you, in good case, and thinking that nothing's going to happen, all right, you going to be put to death. All right, especially if you heard this message, all right, you heard this song before, all right, that we sing all day long. All right, which is if you keep breaking the law, statute, commandments of the Holy Bible, all right, you're gonna be put to death. All right, and that's the fear of the Lord, knowing, all right, respecting and knowing that if you break these laws, statute, commandments, you break anything written in here intentionally, all right, you're to be put to death. All right, you're going to be put to death. All right, we know United States of America, all right, has just has been founded, all right, not even 500 years ago. All right. It was founded in, like, I think Christopher Columbus came over here in 1492. So that's a good 500 years ago. All right. That's not even that long. All right. We know one day with the Most High is like unto 1,000 years. All right. So that's like half a day. That's like uh 12 hours. That's only 12 hours, man. So the United States of America only been before the Most High for 12 hours. All right. So we got to get our houses in order. All right, starting with you, Jakes. All right, because these Edomites look to us for the answers. These other nations look to us for the answers because they know we're the sons of the Most High. So we got to start being a good example. All right, and we know the Most High, He'll save you from that draft. All right, even if you get drafted. All right, because we know the draft is coming to the United States. We're in the last days, and we know World War III is going to happen. All right, it's prophecy. Let's go to the prophecy right here. It's in the holy scriptures. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. All right, so what does the word woe mean? All right, the word woe means death, great destruction. All right, and when was the most things destroyed? All right, and most people murdered, all right, in history. All right, during World War One. All right, World War One. All right, and then it says what? Two more woes come hereafter. All right, and then the most of people died on the planet, and the most destruction ever in history, all right, was World War Two. All right, we know that the next one is going to be World War Three. All right, and that's when the nuclear is going to be a nuclear warfare. All right. So what else we got, man? All right, we're gonna grab one more precept. We're gonna close it out. All right. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. All right, it says the Heavenly Father, whose true name is Yahweh, all right, he going to ride upon a swift cloud. All right, we know that Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, all right, the Heavenly Father and his Son, their chariots are clothed in the clouds, and it shall come into Egypt. All right, Egypt, all right, the word Egypt means house of bondage. All right, so anywhere that is affliction against its citizens, all right, that would be Egypt. All right, and then you jump down to 2, and it says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right, the word Egyptian, all right, Egypt, all right, the word Egyptian means slave owner. All right, and the word Egypt, all right, means house of bondage. So what would the Egyptians be against the Egyptians? All right, the Russians against the Ukrainians, the Russians against the United States of America. All right, the Egyptians against the Egyptians, the slave owners against the slave owners, the wicked against the wicked. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. All right. So that's what we wait. That's what it's looking like right now. All right. This war between Ukraine and Russia, all right, that's gonna lead to World War III. All right, and that's gonna be the end, all right, the fulfillment of all prophecy. All right, we don't know how long World War III is gonna take. All right, and when those nuclear bombs are gonna be used during that war. All right, but we know World War III being announced. All right, that's gonna be a fulfillment of prophecy. All right, that's gonna be a standing mark of we're getting close to the end. All right, because that's Bible prophecy. All right, you read Revelation, the 9th chapter. All right, we know the breakdown to it is World War I. All right, and then you get to 9 and 12, and what it say that 2 wars come more hereafter. So we had World War II right now. We're waiting on World War III. But with that being said, I'm going to close out. I'm going to say, Call Land Law Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Kakadash. Kwame Yasharala Wa Baba Ba Shalom.